an insurrection caused by Nancy Pelosi. They shot Ashli Babbitt.
All right, let's unpack Trump's comments on January the 6th. He just called it an insurrection caused by Nancy Pelosi, which resulted in the death of Ashli Babbitt. Meanwhile, his lawyers are in court saying it wasn't an insurrection. And while Trump's Supreme Court nominees argue on his behalf that he didn't violate Section 3 of the 14th Amendment that says an insurrectionist can't run for president, Trump continues to lie about his role on January the 6th, now blaming it on the former speaker for the thousands of MAGA terrorists who stormed the Capitol. Yeah, right. So here's the question. If the person responsible for January 6th is also responsible for the death of Ashli Babbitt, which one is it, Trump or Pelosi?
Take a look at my words right after. You take a look at my speech from the Rose Garden, which was very shortly after. I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. Somebody from police force shot Ashli Babbitt. So unnecessary, so sad.
Ashli Babbitt is dead because Trump, Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax lied to MAGA and called for them to assemble on January 6th and then march to the Capitol to stop the certification of Joe Biden's victory.
Ashli Babbitt was a female who was 5'2", weighed 125 pounds soaking wet, and had no weapon, might have suggested that she wasn't a threat.
And the Capitol Hill police officer who shot her says he was forced to go into hiding for several months following death threats.
Come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building. Make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country.
The truth here is important for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's the truth. And also it's because it's Trump's lies that encourage and predicted violence.
Fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. It'll be bedlam in the country. It's a very bad thing.
You just used the word bedlam. Will you tell your supporters now, no matter what, no violence?
Along with Steve Bannon.
While certain close associates of President Trump privately expressed concerns about what would occur on January 6th, other members of the president's inner circle spoke with great anticipation about the events to come. The committee has learned from the White House phone logs that the president spoke to Steve Bannon, his close advisor, at least twice on January 5th. The first conversation they had lasted for 11 minutes. Listen to what Mr. Bannon said that day after the first call he had with the president.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's all converging, and now we're on, as they say, the point of attack, right? The point of attack tomorrow. I'll tell you this. It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen.
And on the morning of January the 6th, Rudy Giuliani.
So let's have trial by combat.
Now, ultimately, the Supreme Court will allow Trump on state ballots, probably because he hasn't been convicted of creating an insurrection, at least not yet. But he did create January 6th with one intent: stop the certification and allow him to stay in office.
We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about.
I can't believe we're still talking about this. After the violence and mayhem that injured 100 Capitol policemen, one who later died, does anyone doubt that this crowd, if they were able to reach Pelosi, Swalwell, or Mitt Romney, would have done the same? That they wouldn't have harmed them, maybe killed them?
We're gathered together in the heart of our nation's capital. You'll never take back our country with weakness. We will stop the steal.
Stop the steal! It's our country, we want it back! Fuck these Democrats! Where's that?
After egging the crowd on regarding Mike Pence.
And Mike Pence, I hope you're going to stand up for the good of our Constitution. If Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election.
The crowd then called for Mike Pence's neck and had the gallows ready and waiting. McCarthy and McConnell saw what was happening, and they called him out. They called for him to stop it.
Last week's violent attack on the Capitol was undemocratic, un-American, and criminal.
Clearly, the chief of the Capitol Police, in my view, correctly describes what most of us witnessed firsthand on January 6th.
His sons, along with Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, they all called for him to put an end to this madness. Why? Because they knew he had the power to stop it. Trump lied about offering Nancy Pelosi troops because D.C. is a federal property and he is the commander-in-chief. No one can usurp his decisions that day. The power was all in his hands, yet he let the crowd run amok unabated because he knew his silence encouraged more violence.
Release the J6 hostages, Joe.
Look, here are the facts. Trump assembled thousands of people on January the 6th to interrupt the certification of electoral votes and ultimately Biden's victory. He lied about the election and told MAGA the Democrats had stolen it.
According to the House's article of impeachment, Trump made statements that encouraged and foreseeably resulted in lawless action at the Capitol.
And the crowd was armed. Trump knew this when he was speaking down in front of the White House. He knew the people then had guns. The Secret Service warned him about allowing more people in because they were armed. He didn't care. Later on, the insurrectionists were arrested with guns, and they admitted to having guns, as well as one of them planting a bomb near a federal building. While Trump parses his words with, "I said this, but meant that," he is now currently predicting violence and mayhem should he be convicted on one of the 91 federal indictments. Trump will be convicted of felony charges this spring and summer, and he will face incarceration. He's already mocked and joked about Nancy Pelosi's husband, who was viciously attacked with a hammer by a Trump supporter. So you don't think he'll use violence to keep from going to prison himself? Ashli Babbitt is dead because, like many Trump supporters, she believed the lies and felt called to duty.
The person that shot Ashli Babbitt, boom, right through the head, just boom. There was no reason for that.
And on January the 6th, while she tried to climb into a window and help other insurrectionists hunting down Democrats to cause them harm and even possibly hanging the vice president, a Capitol police officer did his job and protected the men and women who were running for their lives, even light in the pants Senator Josh Hawley. It's only luck that just 2 people died that day. And fortunately, Trump's lies cannot change the historical fact that our country nearly slipped into the company of third world nation states just 3 short years ago. It's ridiculous, but I need to say it out loud, I guess. Nancy Pelosi did not cause the insurrection. She did not plan or plot the insurrection. And Nancy Pelosi is not responsible for the death of Ashli Babbitt.
I'm driving right now, but I'm like really heated.
Trump is an insurrectionist, a traitor, a thief, and a liar. And on January the 6th, he was a murderer. Like and subscribe to Really American Media and let us know what you think. For Really American, I'm Chip Franklin.